So let me guess, you have had some intuitive moments before, or maybe you are like, yes, I flow with my intuition. But let's be honest, somewhere in there, I know that you've second guessed yourself. And if you say you've never second guessed yourself, then I don't know who you are because I've never met anybody that has always trusted their intuition, including myself. Sometimes we expect our intuition to come in like a booming voice from the sky that says, do this now. But to be really honest, most of the time our intuition is a soft whisper. Allow spirit to whisper to you. Now, in those moments where you really need some help and advice, it can totally feel like a booming voice or strong gut feeling. But spirit whispers in our ear every day. Today on this episode, I'm going to be talking about 5 ways to have confidence in your intuitive abilities. Welcome to Spiritual and Ambitious. I'm your host, Whitney McNeill. I'm a certified medium and spiritual teacher, and I help spiritual and ambitious souls just like you live your life purpose through your career and attract abundance by connecting into your intuition and spirit guides. Let's get spiritual and ambitious. Now, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Dan. Dan says, I've been following you, Whitney, for a few years. Really happy to hear about the podcast. Love it. Thanks so much, Dan, and thanks for giving me a 5-star review. I appreciate it. And all of you who are out there listening, if you haven't reviewed yet, we have fun prizes that we're doing every month. You can check it out at messengerspirit.com/podcast review. All right, let's get into 5 ways to have confidence with your intuitive gifts. So first off, you might be wondering if you're intuitive at all. And if that's the case, I'm here to tell you that you are. Now, I am someone that teaches you how to tap into your intuition and spirit guides. So the first thing I'm going to say is you've got to develop your intuitive language. And with that, let's talk about how to do it. So in this world that we live in today, there are so many things completely just thrown at us. And so you're like, I could read books, I can listen to your podcast, Whitney, I can watch your free videos. There's so much out there. And I know for me, when I was developing my intuition, I sought out everything. And it wasn't quite the best education at first. I listened to all the meditations I could. I read books. I unfortunately kind of binge watched any kind of metaphysical TV show online. And that was not actually, let's say, credible. And actually, it wasn't online. It was on TV back then. So I'm dating myself. But what it led me to do was be very confused because there's so many different teachers out there saying different things. And what I really wanted was somebody to answer my questions. And I also wanted a structured way. So as a teacher, I think it's really important to teach step by step and not just say, oh, just go tune in. So I'm like, if you just say go tune in, like that's great, but how the heck do I tune in? So I like to make sure when I teach my students step by step by step. This is what you do. This is how you clear your mind. This is how it can come in. But the biggest decision for me that really started opening my intuition was getting serious about it. I had to make a commitment. When I made a commitment and said, I'm actually going to develop it and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to take a class, not just read a couple things here and there. That was a huge aha. And here's why. One, when you find the right teacher and you also are saying, I am doing this, I'm serious about it, your energy, your spirit guides, they know that you've made this commitment. Okay, every week she's going to be doing this, or every day she's going to be doing this. So it's, I am ready. It's basically an announcement. You know how people send out wedding announcements and engagement announcements and baby announcements and all the things? It's like you're sending a message to the universe saying, I am ready. Everybody, let's do this now. So it's about saying yes. A lot of times, what I've seen are people kind of dabbling in it, they're interested in it, but they don't want to actually invest their time and or sometimes it's money too. It's, well, just kind of like, it's intuition. It's just something that I don't necessarily need to take seriously, or they don't see it as a job skill or something that really could be an investment for them. When in all actuality, it is the best thing that you could ever invest in because it's with you all the time. Once you learn it, you get to access it each and every day, and it saves you so much time and money. It helps you grow your business, it helps you get the right job, it helps you find what you're looking for. And you might be wondering, well, what do you mean, Whitney? Well, yes, if you're not qualified for a certain position or you're not a vibrational match for a certain thing, it's not going to work. What intuition does is your spirit guides, once you've talked to them, it is the portal to receive your spirit guide messages. So your spirit guides start telling you and creating opportunities once you've talked to them. Hey, we've got this great person that we want you to meet. We think you'd be a great fit for this. And oftentimes our intuition doesn't go with logic, doesn't go with who we would, what job we would apply for. Sometimes it does, 100%. But sometimes it's like, I'm just going to go to the grocery store. Oh, I'm meeting this person. So it is, let's say, where the magic happens. I know that a lot of people use magic happening. I'm telling you, though, your intuition is so helpful and your spirit guides can pull so many things off that you don't even know. I remember several times in my life where the odds were against me and it was a beautiful, magical thing that happened where, oh, yes, you have this windfall, or you're meeting the right person. Oh, you get to keep your job after you quit. So you can do this part time. So you can save up some money stores while you start your business. Like so many different beautiful things have happened with intuition, meeting the right people, getting speaking opportunities, being introduced. It's amazing. I remember when we co-founded a spiritualist church, and we did it in a place seemingly where people weren't so open to the woo-woo. And I was so worried we were going to have people outside, like protesting and all that stuff. And Spirit led us to the right time, right people. It was beautiful. And so many people were open to this. So with this, your intuition is a huge tool. And I wish more people understood if I could just access it and develop it, it stays with me for a lifetime. It's not something that I just do for a day, for a week. It's not something to play games with. It's actually going to help me save years of time I would have wasted by not following my intuition. And so many people think that intuition can just happen or just happens when it happens. Actually, you can call on your intuition at all times, but I truly believe that we want to talk to your spirit guides at the same time every day, if possible. So that leads me to one of the big things is called consistency. So that's the next way to truly have confidence in your ability. So one is get serious, two is consistency. Now, I'm not a scheduled kind of girl. Like, I don't love schedules. I like freedom. I like to be able to do what I want. But let's be honest, I need a schedule in my life for certain things, right? I can't just tell people, oh, maybe we'll have a meeting if I feel aligned to it. No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm a yes, I honor my commitments kind of person. So I want to stay consistent, but how can I stay consistent? Like, what does consistency mean? Well, one of the great things is if you can choose a time every day to talk to your spirit guides and do your intuitive exercises, that's great. But maybe, just maybe, you're like me. You don't want to pick a time where your day is kind of crazy. So you can actually attach talking to your spirit guides at a certain time, attach it to an event, like after I brush my teeth, or right before I go to bed, or right after I wake up, or right after lunch. I've even had a student that did this when her children were napping. So, really finding what works for you. And maybe you're a person that's like, every day. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can do that. I feel you. And it's okay to miss a couple days. It's all right. We have lives, right? But let's go back to the first way. Get serious about it. So, first, are you ready to make a commitment? And if you're ready to make a commitment, then you've got to say, well, what is that commitment and how can I be consistent? And the reason why your consistency is helpful is because the more that you're training your intuitive channels, you start to recognize the messages that this is what it is like, it feels like, it sounds like, and it looks like when intuition comes to me. You're opening your skills wider. Just like if you were to run a marathon, right? You're training your muscles each and every day. You're not just getting up one day and saying, I'm going to go run it. Bye. And you haven't done any kind of work. Your body is going to hate you and you might not finish it. So with your intuition, you want to develop that consistency. You're also, when you're doing these intuitive exercises, raising your vibration. You are becoming lighter so that spirit can work with your energy. So in Intuition Abundance Academy, I teach my students the spirit circle. And the spirit circle is a time where you're devoting to really do intuitive exercises to hear, see, feel, know what spirit is saying to you. You have a spirit guide when you move into your intuition. And for those people that work with me, called a chemist, that literally adjusts the etheric body around you to help improve your sensitivity. So when we're born, some people are born with lots of sensitivity receptors. Some people are born with not so many. Some are in between, like Goldilocks. This is just right. So your chemist can work on your sensitivity. So consistency is important. It also develops a rapport, right? Just as any relationship in your life, if you only talk to somebody once a month, you're not going to have as tight of a bond as you would if you talk to somebody every day. Think about it as you've got acquaintances, you've got distant friends, you've got BFFs, you've got your family. So look at it as how close are we? So consistency is another way to truly move into your confidence of your intuitive ability. So I'm going to be talking about 3 more ways to have confidence in your intuitive abilities coming back after this break. This episode is sponsored by my program, Intuition Abundance Academy. It's a 12-week transformational program to help you connect to your spirit guides and break through your abundance blocks to claim your life purpose. This is where you truly transform and create the abundance that you know in your heart you desire and deserve. It's time to stop second guessing and learn to trust and love yourself. Inside this 12-week journey, there is life purpose training, intuition training, spirit guide training, abundance training, and live coaching with yours truly. You can go to messengerofspirit.com/waitlist to jump on the waitlist for the next enrollment. Okay, we're back. Now, another way to have confidence in your intuitive abilities, you got to remove your mindset blocks. Like, this is your own shit. Really, it is. And truly, let's take that to a deeper level. Maybe it's not your own shit. Maybe it's somebody else's that they've kind of planted a seed within you. Oh, this is stupid. Oh, this is crazy. Oh, this isn't real. Oh, okay. What planet are you living on? Maybe you've heard things like that. And I'm sorry if you have. I've been there too. And it can be hard. It can be hard to want to get serious about it when you have a spouse or family or friends that just don't support this. For me, when I wanted to seek out an intuitive class, it required money and it required me being gone. And I had to tell my spouse, hey, I'm going to do this meeting and it's really important to me. And I'm just working on some spiritual stuff. And I finally had to really talk more about what it was. And it was truly a transformative experience for me to actually put myself out there and claim, hey, this is important to me and I'm going to do it. And the people that really love you, when you tell them, this is important to me and I want to do this, it's not hurting anybody and it's only going to help me and it could help you too. People that love you will say, I don't understand it, but okay, that's important to you. I get it. Now, this was my first marriage when I had to do this. Now, by using my intuition, my spirit guides, I'm in my second marriage and we are very happy. And he's totally into the woo. We met through the intuitive events. Just standing up for yourself is so important. You're claiming to everyone, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready and I'm open here. No more hiding. So the mindset blocks can be fear of telling people, oh my gosh, they're going to think I'm weird. And if you decide to really get into this or join our Facebook group or work with me, hey, you're going to find some people in there and everybody that is working with us will get your intuitive abilities and will understand that topic. But doubt if you can even do this, right? It's like, I don't know if I can do this, Whitney. Like I don't have it. I'm not sure that this is, like I'm not going to be good enough. So sometimes when I see students, they'll come in and I'll say, first thing, don't compare yourself to anybody else and let's not talk down about ourselves. So what will happen is somebody inside of the program will be seeing all these things and there'll be somebody in there that has some self-doubt and they'll be like, oh, I'm just not good enough. You are good enough. And it is embracing how you receive your intuitive messages. And maybe one person in the program has lots of sensitivity receptors and you were born with a little bit less. That does not mean that you stay in that place. You can grow your sensitivity through these exercises to increase your sensitivity receptors, but embrace the way it comes in for you. So with your intuitive language, it could be seeing, hearing, feeling, knowing. And I also talk about you can smell and taste messages too. Sounds weird, but it's true. Now, maybe you're afraid something bad's going to happen to you. There's nothing bad the way that I teach with intuition, because I remember being scared out of my mind before when I didn't have boundaries in place. I didn't understand what was what. So the first thing around that is learn what it is. Learn what it is so that you're not afraid of the unknown. So turn the unknown into known. Okay, the more I learn about my intuition, the more I learn about spirit guides, they're not just some random misty people out there. You know who they are, you know how they work for you. And that helps you take away the fear just by knowledge and learning. Maybe you are afraid because religion or people have taught you that it's bad or you're going to open yourself up to some evil. And with your spirit guides, they are going to protect you, one. But what I want you to hear today is that intuition is a natural ability you were born with. So why are you going to stuff it in the ground, right? Your intuition is a beautiful ability that you have. And so many people shove it into a box and they think, oh, no, I can't listen. And a lot of this is because in certain religions, only certain people could talk to spirit or hear God or to commune with the divine. We're all divine. We are all here open and ready to utilize the gifts we were born with. Sometimes when I say gifts, people think, oh, that just means one person can have it and another person doesn't. No, we were all incarnated with a tool set of intuition. It just looks different. So removing mindset blocks along the way will help you have more confidence in your intuition. So if you're somebody that says, oh, I'll never get it right, you'll never get it right because that's what you believe. Even though you are getting it right, you're never going to actually see it because you're not believing it. So one of the things I'd like for you to do is change your perspective. If you find yourself in a negative mindset, you can start looking at a positive way. And a simple way to do this is through affirmation. So if you say to yourself, oh, I can't see anything. Ha ha ha. Even if it's laughing, ha ha ha, I can't see anything. They must not have handed that to me when I was born. Whatever that is, let's just change that and change your affirmation to say something like, I am curious about my intuition. I open my intuition. I am so excited to connect to my intuition because those small shifts are believable. And then, of course, then I want you to move into, I am confident in my intuition. Now, you can go from, I can't see anything to, I am confident in my intuition if you truly believe it. But sometimes we need those little affirmations in between to help us get there. It's the bridge. All right. So, another way to really have confidence in your intuitive abilities, validation exercises. So, when I teach truly a mediumship 101 class. However, it's for intuitive validation. So, inside of my program, I'll teach this validation, and I encourage you to get validation for yourself. And here's a couple ways you can do it. So, when you are practicing your intuitive exercises, write down every message you get and or use voice memo. So, if you are feeling like I don't have time to write it down, I know you're out there going, I had this great thought when I was in the shower. I had this great thought when I was driving, but I just wasn't in a place to write it down. And now I don't remember it. That's because you don't remember it because it was intuitive and your mind was clear. And so it's gone now. You can ask Spirit to give it back to you, but let's create a time, right? That consistency that you talk to your spirit guides and do your intuitive exercises so that you can write it down. Or if you are not in a place to write it down, just use our voice memo app so that you can record it. Or maybe you can, buy actually an MP3 recorder too, whatever it is. Just do the voice. Hey, I had a thought about this, and then follow up on it. For me, I am usually in a place where I can write things down, but I use my notes app on my phone. And I always go back to it and I can search for it in my phone too, which makes it even better. So, validation. Another thing that you can do is grab a partner. So, I like to do this in the program. We have partners that we get together. And what you can do is say, I'm just going to clear my mind and give messages and just tell me if you understand them. Right. And so there's a bit more to that, but I just wanted to kind of briefly say, hey, you can do partner exercise too. But I know that many of you out there might feel like, oh, I just don't know who. I don't know who I could talk to do that. So voice app or write it down. Now, the fifth way to have confidence in your intuitive ability is to actually start taking intuitive action. You have to do it. And here's why. You can think about your intuition all day. You could be seeing all the beautiful things and have opened it up. But until you actually start taking action, you will not see the result. So maybe the result is like, but Whitney, I saw spirit or I heard spirit. I felt a gut feeling. You have to start taking intuitive action for you to actually feel that confidence in yourself and make it a reality. It's true manifesting. It came from spirit and now it's a physical reality that I just made it happen. So start taking the action. When you take the action to apply for that job or reach out to that person or to really move forward with XYZ decision that you made, right? To reach out to this person you've been thinking about that you haven't talked to in a year, or, I'm going to just create this new offer in my business, or I'm finally going to start my business. Whatever it is, take the action and you will see what amazing benefits unfold. Oftentimes, that person that you haven't talked to in a year that you reached out to says, I was thinking about you too, and how much I missed you. And I'm so glad you reached out. Or, you know what? I'm going to start my business right now. You do? And then you start talking about it and people are like, oh my gosh, when are you going to teach that class? Oh my gosh, when are you going to do that service? I've been really wanting something. When you show up and you say, I'm going to do it, you see the reward. You see like why you're doing it in the first place. So sometimes we're like, why is spirit telling me to do this? I don't understand. and then you do it. So one example that I use that was more recent is I wanted to, and I felt inspired to take a speaking program. And I took the speaking program and I also submitted a proposal to do a speaking gig. And I did not get that gig. And I was like, okay, no big deal. And this is part of my manifesting, demanifesting that I use, where it's like, no big deal. But I felt inspired to do it. And then out of the blue, a bigger speaking opportunity came about. And I was like, yes, please. I will totally do that. So what happens is your spirit guides are prepping you. Hey, Whitney, you should take this class. You know, what they're doing is one, they're telling you, hey, we've got an opportunity for you. Can you take the action so that you feel prepared for it? And it tells your spirit guides if you're a yes or you're a no. So you're like, okay, I'm going to do this or not. Also, it puts the energy out there of saying, I am ready. I am ready to do this. And then you yourself have gone through the motions so that you are ready when spirit is giving you something else. So sometimes it makes no sense. You're like, well, why did I do that? I didn't even get it. Maybe it wasn't intuitive. I must have made it up. We must have got it wrong. And Spirit's like, no, you didn't get it wrong. We're just kind of prepping you. This is a great opportunity for you to learn. And then we're going to give you something even better. So your spirit guides are always working for you in your favor to help you. They're always conspiring in your favor. So take your intuitive action. So one quick thing I want to say, what intuitive action have you been totally not doing right now? What have you been stalling? What have you put on the back burner? I want you to really think about it. And then I want you to take that action today. So how can you do that? Take that inspired action, whether it is saying yes to something that you know you need, that you want, but you've been too afraid to do it. So here's a rundown again. 1, get serious and do it. Like, get serious about it. Let's stop dabbling. Let's do it. 2, consistency. Pick a time of the day, of the week. 3, remove your mindset blocks. 4, validation. And 5, start taking action. So every year we have a free challenge coming up to increase your intuition. So stay tuned. For now, if you want to get on the wait list for our program coming up, you can go to messengerofspirit.com/waitlist. All right. I'll see you on the next episode. Here's to staying spiritual and ambitious. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. And if you loved it, would you please share it with a friend? I would also love your review and a reminder to subscribe so you never miss an episode. You can find me at messengerofspirit.com, and you can take the 4 Intuitive Languages quiz and find show notes there too. If you want to connect on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you can find me at Messenger of Spirit. If you want to continue the conversation, join my free Facebook group at messengerofspirit.com/group. I'll meet you right here next week. Here's to staying spiritual and ambitious.